Marcus Ellis stopped a kidnapping in 30 seconds flat. His daughter noticed the wrong shoes. He noticed everything else. The boy he saved was Theodore Whitfield, heir to a billion-dollar empire. The grandmother who thanked him with tears, Eleanor Whitfield herself. But here's what Marcus didn't know. The real danger wasn't the men he stopped. It was already waiting inside the mansion walls. Subscribe now and stay until the end. Comment your city so I can see how far this story goes. Here's what really happened. Dad, wrong shoes. Marcus's head snapped up. Zoe was staring across Riverside Library, her finger pointing at a janitor leading a boy toward the exit. What? Janitors wear work boots. He's wearing dress shoes. Marcus was already moving, the boy's face pale, frightened, the man's grip on his wrist too tight, the way they were moving too fast, too purposeful. Stay here. Dad, Zoe, don't move. 10 feet from the exit. Marcus closed the distance in 4 strides. Excuse me? The janitor turned, smiled. Wrong smile. Too smooth. Yeah. You dropped something. I don't think so. The man's hand tightened on the boy's wrist. The kid flinched. I'm pretty sure you did. Marcus positioned himself between them and the door. Right back by the reference desk. We're in a hurry. The janitor's voice had an edge now. Educated, polished. Nothing like the maintenance staff Marcus knew. Kid's sick. Mother's waiting outside. Funny. I didn't see his mother. The boy made a sound. Not quite a whimper. More like hope. Listen, buddy, back off. Someone call 911. Marcus projected his voice across the library. This man is taking a child. The janitor lunged for the door. Marcus was faster. 2 moves, muscle memory from 2 tours and 100 bad situations. Face down. Arm locked. Professional. Clean. You're safe, Marcus said to the boy. Stay right there. The kid nodded, shaking, tears streaming, but he didn't run. He stood frozen, watching Marcus like he'd just seen something impossible. Chaos erupted. Shouting. Phone cameras. The head librarian, Mrs. Chen, rushing over her own phone out. Zoe! Marcus barked without looking. He'd heard her backpack bouncing 3 seconds ago. I'm here. His daughter dropped beside the boy. Hey, you're okay now. That's my dad. He's really good at this. At what? Keeping people safe. Sirens screamed closer. The man beneath Marcus had stopped fighting, gone still, and calculating. There's a van, the boy said suddenly. White van. 2 more men. Outside. Marcus's blood went cold. Mrs. Chen, tell them. White van, 2 suspects fleeing. She related, voice shaking. Police flooded in, weapons drawn. Marcus identified himself immediately, hands visible, no sudden movements. He knew this dance. An officer took over the suspect. Another approached Marcus. We need your statement. The boy first. Medical attention. Now. The officer nodded, waving over paramedics, but when they tried to move the boy away from Marcus, he grabbed Marcus's sleeve with both hands. No, don't leave. Marcus knelt down. Eye level. I'm not leaving. See those officers over there? I'll be talking to them. You'll be right here with the paramedics. You can see me. I can see you. Deal. The boy's grip loosened slightly. Promise. Promise. Okay. The next hour blurred. Questions, statements, security footage. The janitor's real name, Derek Manning. Record as long as Marcus's service file. And the boy, wrapped in a blanket, kept looking at Marcus like he was afraid to blink. Mr. Ellis. A detective approached. Woman 40, sharp eyes. You did good work today. My daughter noticed first. Still, most people wouldn't have acted. She paused. The boy's asking for you. Won't talk to anyone else. Would you mind? Marcus glanced at Zoe. She nodded. Go, Dad. The boy was in a conference room, small and scared and trying to be brave. You came back. Told you I would. Marcus sat down. "How you feeling?" "Better. Now." A child advocate sat nearby with another detective. "Theo, we need to ask you questions. Is that okay?" Theo looked at Marcus. Marcus nodded. "Okay." "Tell us what happened. From the beginning." "I was at recess, 3rd grade. My teacher said someone from my grandmother's office came to pick me up early. Doctor's appointment." Theo's voice stayed steady, but his hands shook. "But when I got to the office, it wasn't anyone I knew. It was that man. He said my grandmother sent him." Marcus leaned forward. "Did he say her name?" "Yes, Eleanor Whitfield, and he knew my name, where I lived, my teacher's name, everything." The detective's pen stopped moving. "He knew everything." "Everything. He said Grandma was worried about me, that she wanted me to come home early. Mrs. Morrison believed him. I believed him." Theo's voice cracked. "How did he know all that?" No one answered, because they were all thinking the same thing inside information. "He took me to a van, 2 other men. They gave me juice and I got sleepy. When I woke up, we were here, the janitor uniform. He said we'd wait until it was safe to leave town. He said if I screamed, they'd hurt Grandma." "Did they say anything else?" the detective asked. "Anything about why?" "One of them was on the phone. He said payment and delivery and something about making the call tonight." Marcus's stomach dropped. Payment. Delivery. Professional language. This wasn't random. "Theo," the detective said carefully, "who exactly is your grandmother?" "Eleanor Whitfield." The room went silent. "Jesus Christ," the younger detective muttered. "She's just Grandma to me," Theo said quietly. "She makes hot chocolate. We watch documentaries. She's not scary." Marcus heard himself ask, "Where are your parents, Theo?" "Dead. Car accident when I was 5. Both of them. Same car. Date night." Theo's voice went flat, practiced. The voice of a kid who'd told this story too many times. "It's just me and Grandma now." The door burst open. A woman swept in. Silver hair, designer suit, face ravaged with terror. "Theo." "Grandma." Eleanor Whitfield crossed the room in 4 strides and dropped to her knees, pulling Theo against her chest. Oh God, baby, are you hurt?" "I'm okay. This man saved me. Him and his daughter." Eleanor's head turned. Her eyes locked on Marcus, red-rimmed but sharp, assessing. "You." Marcus stood. "Marcus Ellis, ma'am?" "The police told me what you did." Her voice shook. "How you saw. How you stopped them." "My daughter noticed the shoes first." "Where is she?" "Outside." "Bring her here, please." Marcus brought Zoe in. His daughter entered with her chin up, trying to look confident. Eleanor Whitfield, Billionaire, knelt down again. "Hello, sweetheart. I'm told you saved my grandson's life today." "I just noticed his shoes were wrong," Zoe said. "Dad did the scary part." "You noticed. That's what mattered." Eleanor's voice cracked. "Thank you. Thank you so much." "You're welcome. Theo seems really nice." "He is." Eleanor stood wiping her eyes. "He's everything." The hours that followed were controlled chaos. More police. FBI. Senior detectives with hard faces and harder questions. The white van had been found abandoned 3 miles away. No prints. No trace. Professional. Marcus gave his statement 4 times to 4 different people. Each time the questions got sharper. "Mr. Ellis, you said you served 2 tours in Afghanistan." "Yes." "Combat experience." "Yes." "Including hand-to-hand." "Yes." "Why?" "Just trying to understand your training. Your reaction time was impressive." Marcus didn't like where this was going. "I saw a child in danger. I acted. That's all." Of course, but the detective's eyes said something else. Something like, "We're watching you." Through it all, Theo stayed close to Marcus. Even with Eleanor right there. Even with doctors and psychologists and a dozen people trying to help. The boy had latched onto Marcus like a lifeline. Finally, as shadows stretched long outside, Eleanor pulled Marcus aside. "Mr. Ellis, I need to speak with you. Privately." They stepped into an empty office. Eleanor closed the door. "I don't know how to thank you for saving Theo's life." "Ma'am, please, let me finish." She took a breath. "Everything I have, everything I've built means nothing if Theo isn't safe, and you kept him safe. I did what anyone would." "No." Her voice went sharp. "No, you didn't. Most people would have looked away, assumed everything was fine, minded their own business. You acted." Marcus said nothing. "I want to do something for you. For your daughter, money, trust funds, education." "No." Eleanor blinked. "No. Protecting a child isn't something you pay for, ma'am. It's not a transaction. But I did what any decent person should do. If you want to thank me, raise the standard of what decent means." Eleanor stared at him. Then impossibly she smiled, sad, weary, but genuine. "You're a rare man, Marcus Ellis." "I'm just a dad. A dad who's doing something very right." She paused. "Would you at least let me buy you and Zoe dinner after this nightmare?" Marcus hesitated. Zoe was hungry. He could tell by the way she kept eyeing the vending machine. "Nothing fancy," he said. "Nothing fancy." Eleanor agreed. "I know a place." The place was a diner 3 blocks away. Red vinyl booths, laminated menus, a waitress who called everyone honey. Eleanor Whitfield in her designer suit and pearls slid into a booth like she'd done it 1,000 times. "I grew up near here," she said, catching Marcus's look. "Before everything else, I was just Eleanor Reeves eating pancakes after school." "You never told me that," Theo said. "There are lots of things I haven't told you yet, stories for when you're older." They ordered burgers and milkshakes. The tension started to ease. Zoe and Theo discovered they both loved drawing. Eleanor asked Marcus about his service. He gave her the clean version. "And your wife," Eleanor asked gently, "died 3 years ago. Cancer. Fast." "I'm sorry." "Me too. But Zoe keeps me going." Eleanor's eyes softened. "Theo is my reason. After losing my son and daughter-in-law, he's all I have left. He's everything." They sat in silence. 2 people bonded by grief and love and the fierce need to protect what remained. Eleanor's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, frowned, looked up at Marcus with an expression he couldn't read. "Mr. Ellis, I need to ask you something unusual." "Okay." "Theo hasn't slept well since his parents died. Nightmares. And tonight?" She paused. "Tonight I know he won't sleep at all. Not after this. He'll be terrified someone will come back." Marcus could see where this was heading. "He feels safe with you," Eleanor continued. "I don't understand why, but it's there. I'm asking parent to parent, would you consider staying nearby tonight at my home? Guest rooms. Complete privacy. Just so Theo knows you're close." Marcus looked at Zoe. She was watching him with wide, hopeful eyes. "Dad, Theo needs us." That was the thing about his daughter. She always saw straight to the heart of things. "One night," Marcus said. Eleanor's relief was visible. "Thank you. Truly." They finished dinner. Eleanor paid insisted, and they followed her car north along the coast road. The mansion appeared gradually Gates' security booth, winding driveway, and then the house itself. Whitfield Point. Marcus had seen pictures in magazines. They didn't do it justice. "Jesus," Zoe whispered. "Language." Marcus said automatically, but his heart wasn't in it. He was too busy noticing everything else. The security guard at the gate. Young, nervous. Radio clipped to his belt, but his hand hovering near it like he didn't trust it. The driveway cameras. 3 visible, which meant 6 total probably. But one was angled wrong. 30 degrees off center. The front entrance, marble, grand, and a single light flickering in the east wing. Just one. Marcus's instincts, the ones that had kept him alive in Kandahar and Helmand, started whispering. Something's wrong here. Eleanor led them inside. A man in a black suit met them in the foyer. 40, fit, cold eyes, gold security badge on his lapel. Mrs. Whitfield, thank God Theo is safe. Travis, this is Marcus Ellis and his daughter Zoe. They'll be staying in the guest wing tonight. Travis's eyes swept over Marcus. Professional assessment. Former military. Marcus recognized the look. Of course. Travis extended his hand. Travis Clean, head of security. Marcus shook it. Firm grip. Too firm. Compensating for something. Mr. Ellis, I'd like to speak with you tomorrow about today's incident. Security protocols need updating. Sure, Marcus said. But he was thinking, where were you when Theo was grabbed from school? Another man appeared. 50s, expensive suit, slicked back hair. He shook Marcus's hand too hard. Pierce Langley, CFO. Remarkable work today, Mr. Ellis. Remarkable. Excellent optics for the company. Optics? Marcus's voice went flat. Pierce? Eleanor's voice carried a warning. Marcus didn't do this for optics. Of course not. Of course not. Just saying from a PR perspective. Good night, Pierce. Pierce nodded, flashed a smile that didn't reach his eyes, and disappeared down a hallway. Eleanor showed them to the guest wing. 2 bedrooms, bathroom, sitting room. More space than Marcus's entire house. If you need anything, press 9 on any phone. Someone will answer. Thank you, Mrs. Whitfield. Eleanor, please. After today, I think we're past formalities. She left. Marcus checked the rooms, windows, locks, exit routes, old habits. Zoe appeared in the doorway. Dad, this is insane. Yeah. Theo's really scared. Can I stay with him for a bit? Just until he falls asleep. Marcus started to say no, then remembered the look in Theo's eyes, the desperate hope. 30 minutes, then bed. Zoe hugged him and ran off. Marcus could hear her voice down the hall, bright and comforting, talking to Theo about something happy. He stood at the window looking out at the ocean, and his instincts kept whispering. The security guard's nervousness, the misaligned camera, Travis Clean's too firm handshake, Pierce Langley's talk about optics, and Derek Manning's knowledge, knowing Eleanor's name, Theo's schedule, everything. How did he know Marcus pulled out his phone, searched Derek Manning's name, criminal record, assault, extortion, but nothing about kidnapping, nothing about children, until 3 years ago. One charge, dropped, insufficient evidence, working for a private security firm. Marcus's blood went cold. Which firm? He dug deeper, found it buried in a court filing. Sentinel Protection Services. He searched that name, found a client list, corporate security, private estates, high net worth individuals. And there, buried on page 3 of results, a newspaper article from 4 years ago. Whitfield Estate upgrades security partners with Sentinel Protection. Marcus stared at his phone. Derek Manning had worked for the same firm that used to protect the Whitfield estate. He knew the layout, the schedules, the protocols, because he'd helped design them. A knock on his door made him jump. Mr. Ellis. It was Anna Eleanor's assistant. Young woman, kind eyes. Mrs. Whitfield asked me to bring you towels. Thank you. Marcus took them. Anna, can I ask you something? Of course. How long have you worked for Mrs. Whitfield? 5 years, since right after Theo's parents died. And the security team? How long have they been here? Anna's expression shifted, just slightly. Travis came on 8 months ago, after the previous head of security retired. Why? Just curious. Who did you use before? What firm? I don't remember the name. Something Protection. Sentinel. No, wait. Sentinel was before. We switched companies 2 years ago after... She stopped. After what? Anna glanced down the hallway, lowered her voice. After there was an incident. Someone got onto the grounds. Late at night. They never caught him. Travis's firm Apex Security replaced them. Better protocols, he said. Did he get inside the house? No, just the grounds. But it scared Mrs. Whitfield. She was very specific about the new security. Theo's safety above everything. And yet Theo was taken from school today, in broad daylight, with all the new protocols. Anna's face went pale. My God, I didn't think about it that way. Maybe you should. Marcus softened his tone. I'm not accusing anyone, but if someone knew the old system and someone else designed the new system, there might be gaps, blind spots. Blind spots, Anna repeated. She looked shaken. Mr. Ellis Travis is very good at his job. He came with excellent references. I'm sure he did. It's probably nothing, just a soldier's paranoia. But Anna didn't look convinced, and neither was Marcus. She left. Marcus locked the door, checked it twice. Then he went to find Zoe. His daughter was sitting on Theo's bed, both of them drawing on a sketch pad. Theo looked calmer, almost peaceful. Time for bed, Zoe. 5 more minutes. You said that 20 minutes ago. Zoe grinned, guilty. Okay. Good night, Theo. Good night. Theo looked at Marcus. Thank you for staying. I feel safer now. Sleep well, buddy. Back in their room, Marcus tucked Zoe into the guest bed. Dad. Yeah. Do you think Theo will be okay? I think he has a grandmother who loves him very much, and people watching out for him. Like you. Like us. We're watching out for him too. Zoe smiled. Good. She fell asleep in minutes. Marcus sat in a chair by the window watching the ocean, thinking about security firms and dropped charges and the man with cold eyes and a too-firm handshake. His phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. Thank you again for today. Sleep well. You're safe here. Eleanor. Marcus stared at those 3 words. You're safe here. Was that a promise or a hope? Because every instinct Marcus had, every lesson learned in 2 tours of combat was screaming one simple truth. They weren't safe, not even close. The danger at the library had been a symptom. The real disease was already inside these walls, and Marcus had just walked his daughter straight into it. Tomorrow he'd start asking the right questions. Tonight, he didn't sleep. He watched the ocean and the shadows, and waited for something to move in the dark. It never did. But Marcus knew better than to trust quiet nights. In his experience, the quiet ones were always the most dangerous. Morning came with salt air and questions Marcus couldn't answer. He found Zoe already awake, sitting at the guest room window with her sketchbook. She'd drawn the ocean, the cliffs, and in the corner a small figure watching from a tower. Couldn't sleep, Marcus asked. I slept okay. You didn't. His daughter was too observant for her own good. I'm fine. You're doing that thing where you check the door every 20 minutes. You did it after Mom died too. Marcus sat down beside her. I'm just being careful. Careful means you think something's wrong. Careful means I'm doing my job. Zoe looked at him with those eyes that were too old for 10 years. Dad, we can leave if you want. Theo will understand. No. The word came out harder than he intended. No, Theo needs us right now. We stay. Okay. She went back to her drawing. But Dad, that security guy, Travis, he was standing outside our room last night, around midnight, just standing there. Marcus's blood went cold. You're sure? I got up to use the bathroom, saw him through the crack in the door. He didn't knock, just stood there for like 5 minutes. Then he left. Why didn't you wake me? You were finally sleeping, and he didn't do anything, just stood there. Marcus pulled out his phone, checked the time, 6:45. He texted the number Eleanor had used last night. Marcus Ellis, need to speak with you this morning. Private. The response came in 30 seconds. Breakfast, 7:30, private dining room, third door on the left from main stairs. Get dressed, Marcus said. Nice clothes, we're having breakfast with Eleanor. Why nice clothes? Because we're about to accuse her head of security of something, and we need to look like we know what we're talking about. Zoe's eyes widened. Oh. 20 minutes later, they walked down marble hallways that probably cost more than Marcus's entire neighborhood. A woman in a staff uniform smiled at them. Good morning. Mrs. Whitfield is expecting you. The private dining room was smaller than Marcus expected. Intimate. Eleanor sat at one end of a table that could seat 8. Theo was beside her pushing scrambled eggs around his plate. Marcus, Zoe, please sit. Eat. They sat. A staff member appeared with coffee juice, more eggs, bacon, fresh fruit. Marcus waited until the woman left before speaking. Mrs. Whitfield. Eleanor. Eleanor, we need to talk about your security. Her expression shifted, guarded. What about it? Where was Travis Clean yesterday when Theo was taken? Eleanor's coffee cup paused halfway to her lips. He was here, managing the estate security. And where was the rest of your security team? Marcus, I don't understand. Eleanor. Marcus kept his voice calm, professional. Your grandson was taken from school in broad daylight. Someone knew his schedule, his teacher's name, your name, everything. That's not luck. That's inside information. Theo had stopped eating, watching them with wide eyes. Travis has been thoroughly vetted, Eleanor said. His background check. Derek Manning worked for Sentinel Protection Services, the same firm that used to handle security for this estate 4 years ago. Eleanor went very still. How do you know that? I looked him up last night, found his employment history buried in court records. He knew your old security protocols because he helped design them. But we switched companies 2 years ago. Travis's firm? Apex Security. I know, but Travis wasn't here yesterday when it mattered. And last night he was standing outside my daughter's room at midnight, just standing there, not knocking, not checking, just watching. Eleanor's face had gone pale. She looked at Theo, then back at Marcus. You think Travis is involved? I think someone on your staff is feeding information to the wrong people. Maybe Travis, maybe not. But we need to find out before they try again. Try again? Theo's voice was small, scared. They're going to try again. No, sweetheart. Eleanor reached for his hand. No, we won't let that happen. How? Marcus asked. How are you going to stop it if you don't know who's helping them? Eleanor stood up abruptly. I need to make some calls. Marcus, stay here. Don't leave this room. Don't talk to anyone. Eleanor, please, just give me 1 hour. She left phone already pressed to her ear. Theo looked at Marcus with terrified eyes. Is Travis going to hurt us? I don't know, buddy, but your grandmother is handling it. What if she can't? Then I will. Zoe reached across the table and took Theo's hand. My dad's really good at handling things. You're safe with him. How do you know? Because bad people are scared of him. I can tell. When we're at the store and weird guys look at me, Dad just stands there and looks back at them, and they always leave. Always. Theo managed a small smile. Your dad is like a superhero. Not a superhero. Just a dad. But a really good one. Marcus felt something tighten in his chest. He wasn't sure he deserved that kind of faith. The door opened. Anna stepped in, looking worried. Mr. Ellis, Mrs. Whitfield asked me to stay with you and the children while she makes some calls. What kind of calls? I don't know, but she looked upset, really upset. Marcus studied her. Anna seemed genuine. Young Ernest obviously devoted to Eleanor and Theo. But then again, Derek Manning had probably seemed trustworthy too. Anna, how much do you know about Travis Clean? Not much. He came highly recommended. Former FBI, I think. Or Secret Service. Something like that. You think or you know. I know he said FBI, but I never saw his credentials. He showed them to Mrs. Whitfield when he was hired. And Pierce Langley? The CFO. Anna's expression shifted. Something uncomfortable crossed her face. What about him? You don't like him. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. Anna glanced at the children, then lowered her voice. Pierce has been pushing Mrs. Whitfield to make some changes to Theo's trust fund. Something about restructuring for tax purposes. She's been resisting. They've argued about it several times in the past month. What kind of changes? I don't know the details, but Pierce kept saying things like, if anything happens to the boy, and we need to plan for contingencies. It made my skin crawl. Marcus's instincts started screaming. If anything happens to Theo, what happens to the money? I assume it goes to Mrs. Whitfield, but she's in her 60s. If something happened to both of them... Anna trailed off, realization dawning on her face. Oh my God, Pierce would have control. As CFO, he'd manage the estate until it could be properly distributed. How much money are we talking about? Billions. The pharmaceutical patents alone are worth... She stopped. You think Pierce was involved in yesterday? I think someone knew way too much, and I think money is usually the answer when the question is why. The door burst open again. Travis Clean stood there, his face hard. Mr. Ellis, Mrs. Whitfield wants to see you. Now. I'm having breakfast with my daughter. It wasn't a request. Marcus stood up slowly. Where is she? Her office. Follow me. Dad, Zoe started. Stay here with Anna and Theo. Don't leave this room. But, Zoe, I'll be fine. Marcus followed Travis down hallways he didn't recognize. Wrong direction from where Eleanor had gone. Away from the main house. This isn't the way to her office, Marcus said. Security office first. Need to go over some protocols with you. Eleanor wanted to see me. After we talk. Every instinct Marcus had was telling him to turn around, grab his daughter, and run. But he needed to know, needed to understand what was happening. The security office was in a converted wing, monitors covering one wall, showing camera feeds from around the estate. 2 other guards were present, young, nervous-looking. Travis closed the door, locked it. Okay, Marcus said quietly. Let's talk. You've been asking questions. That's what happens when children get kidnapped. You've been digging into my background, my credentials, making accusations. I've been doing my job, protecting Theo. That's my job. Then why wasn't he protected yesterday? Travis's jaw tightened. You don't know what you're dealing with here. Then educate me. This estate has threats coming from every direction. Business rivals, disgruntled former employees, zealots who think pharmaceutical companies are evil. I manage security for all of it, every single day. And you show up for one afternoon and think you understand? I understand that Theo was taken on your watch. I understand that the man who took him used to work for the security firm that protected this place. And I understand that you were standing outside my daughter's room at midnight, like some kind of creep. I was checking the perimeter. By standing still outside a 10-year-old girl's bedroom. Travis took a step forward. So did the 2 other guards. Marcus registered their positions, their stances, their probable skill levels. Military trained, maybe, but sloppy, overconfident. You need to be very careful, Mr. Ellis, Travis said. This isn't Afghanistan. You're not a soldier anymore. You're a guest in this house, and guests who make trouble tend to leave quickly. Is that a threat? It's advice. Here's some advice for you. Marcus's voice went cold. Stay away from my daughter. Stay away from Theo. And if I find out you're involved in what happened yesterday, there's not a security team in the world that'll keep you safe from me. Travis smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. Tough talk for a widower with PTSD. Marcus moved before anyone could react. One step. Hand on Travis's collar. Pressure point on his neck. Travis gasped, eyes going wide. I don't have PTSD, Marcus said quietly. I have experience. There's a difference. Now unlock that door before I make you. One of the guards moved. Marcus shifted, his grip twisted, and Travis yelped in pain. Don't, Marcus said to the guard. Just don't. The guard froze. Unlock the door. Travis fumbled for the keys, dropped them, picked them up with shaking hands, unlocked the door. Marcus released him and walked out without looking back. He found his way back to the dining room. Zoe, Theo, and Anna were exactly where he'd left them. Dad. Zoe stood up. What happened? We're leaving. Pack your things. But, now Zoe. Anna stood up. Mr. Ellis, please. Mrs. Whitfield is trying to help. She's on the phone with the FBI right now. Then she can call me when this is sorted out. But my daughter's not staying in a house where the head of security threatens us. He threatened you. Doesn't matter. We're gone. Marcus, wait. Eleanor appeared in the doorway, slightly out of breath. Please wait. I just spoke with a friend at the FBI. They're sending someone to investigate Travis. There's something wrong with his background check. Some inconsistencies. How long will that take? 24 hours, maybe 48. Too long. Please. Eleanor looked at Theo, who'd gone very pale. Please don't leave. Theo needs you. And honestly, I'm not sure I trust anyone else right now. Travis is confined to the security office. I've brought in outside contractors to manage the grounds. Pierce is being watched. You and Zoe are the only people I'm certain aren't involved in this. Marcus looked at his daughter. Zoe was watching Theo, who looked like he might cry. Dad, we can't leave him, Zoe whispered. We're not responsible for him. Yes, we are. We saved him. That means we have to keep saving him. That's not how it works. That's exactly how it works. Marcus closed his eyes. His wife used to say the same thing. About stray cats and injured birds and every lost cause that crossed their path. Zoe had inherited that quality, that beautiful, terrible need to help. 48 hours, Marcus said. That's it. Then we're gone whether this is resolved or not. Eleanor's relief was visible. Thank you, truly. I've arranged for you and Zoe to have rooms in the family wing, near Theo, near me, more secure. What about Travis? He won't come near you. I've made that very clear. And Pierce? Pierce is being cooperative, for now, but I'm watching him closely. The rest of the morning was spent moving to new rooms, settling in, trying to establish some normalcy. Zoe and Theo disappeared into Theo's playroom. Marcus could hear them laughing, playing games that involved elaborate rules only they understood. Eleanor found him standing in the hallway listening to the children. Thank you for staying. Don't thank me yet. This isn't over. I know. She hesitated. Can I ask you something personal? You can ask. Your wife. How long were you married? 12 years. Met her when I was on leave. Married her 6 months later. Best decision I ever made. How did you know that she was the one? Marcus thought about it. She made me want to be better, not different. Just better. And when things got hard, she never ran. She stayed. She fought. She sounds remarkable. She was. Zoe is lucky to have you. I'm lucky to have her. She's the only reason I didn't fall apart when Sarah died. Eleanor nodded. Theo is the only reason I survived losing my son. Children have a way of anchoring us, don't they? Yeah, they do. They stood there in companionable silence, two people bound by loss and love, and the desperate need to protect what remained. A scream shattered the quiet. Zoe's voice, terrified. Marcus ran. Down the hallway, through doors following the sound. Eleanor was right behind him. The playroom door was open. Zoe and Theo stood in the corner holding each other. On the floor in front of them was a phone, playing a video. Marcus picked it up. His blood went cold. The video showed the library, yesterday, from an angle that shouldn't exist. Someone had been filming from inside the library, filming Theo, filming the attempted kidnapping, filming Marcus's intervention, and now someone had sent it to Theo's tablet, along with a message. Next time the soldier won't be there. Eleanor made a sound like she'd been punched. Oh God. Marcus checked the message details. Sent from an unknown number. Untraceable. How did they get this number? Eleanor demanded. Theo's tablet is private, secure. Someone gave it to them, Marcus said. Someone inside this house. Travis. Is locked in the security office. This happened 10 minutes ago. He couldn't have sent it. Eleanor's face went white. Then who? Marcus looked at the video again. The angle, the position. Someone had been standing by the reference desk filming everything. Who else has access to Theo's tablet? Marcus asked. Just me and Anna. And Pierce. He set up all our devices 6 months ago. Security protocols, he said. Pierce. Marcus pulled out his phone and called 911. What are you doing? Eleanor asked. Getting real police here, not FBI in 48 hours. Real cops who can lock people up right now. But Pierce is powerful. He has lawyers. I don't care. That video is evidence. That message is a threat. He sent it, or he knows who did. The operator answered. Marcus gave the address, explained the situation. Eleanor took the phone and confirmed everything. Her voice was shaking but firm. They're sending officers now, she said when she hung up. 20 minutes. We need to find Pierce, before he runs. Anna appeared in the doorway. Mrs. Whitfield, Pierce just left. I saw him from the window, his car. He was driving fast. Call him, Marcus said to Eleanor. Keep him on the phone. Tell him anything. The FBI cleared him. You need his help. Whatever it takes to bring him back. Eleanor dialed, waited. Pierce. Yes, it's me. No, you're not in trouble. I was wrong. The FBI said Travis is the problem, not you. Can you come back? I need your help managing this. Please. She listened. Her face went pale. Pierce says he's already gone. He's at the airport. Says he needs to visit the West Coast office for a few days. He's running, Marcus said. Tell him, Eleanor interrupted. Pierce, they just sent me something. A threat. On Theo's tablet. I don't know how to trace it. You set up all our devices. Please, I need you to... She stopped. Listened. Her hand started to shake. What did he say? Marcus asked. Eleanor lowered the phone. He said, you should have accepted the restructuring proposal. This could have been so much simpler. He admitted it. Not directly, but yes, he admitted it. Keep him talking. Eleanor put the phone on speaker. Pierce, I don't understand. What does the restructuring have to do with this? Pierce's voice came through smooth and cold. Eleanor, you're a brilliant woman. Surely you've figured it out by now. The pharmaceutical division is worth $8 billion. The patents, the pipeline, the infrastructure. But you won't sell. Won't restructure. Won't do anything except sit in that mansion and play grandmother while the company stagnates. So you tried to kidnap my grandson. I tried to motivate you. Make you see reason. If Theo had disappeared for a few days, you would have been desperate, willing to sign anything, do anything. And then he would have been safely returned and everyone would have been happy. Except Derek Manning failed, Marcus said, speaking directly into the phone. And now Theo's still here and you're running. Who is this? The soldier who stopped your plan, Marcus Ellis. Pierce laughed. An ugly sound. The hero. How noble. Well, Mr. Ellis, you may have stopped Derek, but you can't stop what's already in motion. The contracts are signed. The transfers are authorized. By tomorrow morning, I'll have control of enough company assets to force a board vote. Eleanor will be out. Theo will be irrelevant. And I'll be running the largest pharmaceutical company on the East Coast. Not if you're in prison, Eleanor said. For what? A vague phone call. A video I didn't send. Good luck proving anything. My lawyers will tie you up in court for years. Marcus grabbed the phone. Pierce listened to me very carefully. I've spent 2 tours hunting men who thought they were untouchable. I found every single one of them. You're not special. You're just another criminal who got too greedy. And when the police track you down, and they will, I'm going to make sure Theo testifies about every threat, every message, every moment of terror you caused him. You're going to spend the rest of your life in a cell. Silence on the other end. Then Pierce spoke again, and the smooth confidence was gone. You don't understand what you've done. The people I'm working with, they don't stop. Derek was just the first wave. There are others, and they will finish this. The line went dead. Eleanor stared at the phone. Others? He's bluffing, Marcus said, but his voice lacked conviction. What if he's not? Then we deal with it, together. Theo and Zoe had been silent through all of this, huddled together in the corner. Now Theo spoke, his voice small and scared. Are more bad men coming? Marcus knelt down in front of him. Maybe. I don't know. But here's what I do know. Your grandmother loves you. I'm here. Zoe's here. The police are coming, and we're not going to let anyone hurt you. Understand? You promise? I promise. But you promised to stay just one night. Now you're promising to keep me safe. What if you have to leave? What if... Theo. Marcus put his hands on the boy's shoulders. Look at me. I'm not leaving until you're safe. And neither is Zoe. We're here. For as long as you need us. Theo threw his arms around Marcus's neck. The boy was crying, shaking, holding on like Marcus was the only solid thing in a world that had turned to quicksand. Marcus held him. Let him cry. Zoe joined the hug. Then Eleanor. 4 people bound by fear and hope, and the determination to survive whatever came next. Sirens wailed in the distance. The police were coming. But Marcus couldn't shake Pierce's words. There are others, and they will finish this. The police arrived in force. 3 cruisers, 2 detectives, and enough questions to fill the rest of the afternoon. Marcus told them everything. Eleanor corroborated. Anna provided documentation. Theo's tablet was bagged as evidence along with the threatening video. Detective Sarah Chen, no relation to the librarian, listened to Pierce's recorded phone call 3 times. This is good, she said. This is very good. We've issued an APB for Pierce Langley. Airport security has his photo. He won't get far. What about the others? Marcus asked. Pierce said there were others coming. Could be bluffing. Could be real. Either way, we're posting officers here. 24-hour protection until we sort this out. Eleanor nodded, relief visible on her face. Thank you. Truly. Ma'am, I need to ask. How much access did Pierce have to your financial systems? Complete access. He's been our CFO for 8 years. He knows everything. Then we need to freeze your accounts. All of them. If he's been moving money, we need to stop it now. Eleanor pulled out her phone and started making calls. Lawyers, accountants, board members. Her voice was steady, but Marcus could see her hands shaking. Travis Clean was brought in for questioning next. He sat in Eleanor's study with his arms crossed, face hard. I had nothing to do with this, Travis said. Pierce set me up, made it look like I was the problem. Why would he do that? Detective Chen asked. Because I was asking questions. About payments. About security protocols that didn't make sense. Pierce told me Mrs. Whitfield wanted things done a certain way, but when I tried to confirm with her directly, he'd always intercept. Said she was too busy, too stressed. Eleanor leaned forward. What kind of payments? To Sentinel Protection Services, your old security firm. $50,000 a month, for consulting services that never happened. I flagged it 2 weeks ago. Pierce said it was for ongoing threat assessment. I didn't buy it, so I dug deeper. Found out Derek Manning was still on their payroll. Marcus's blood went cold. You knew Derek Manning worked there? Not until 2 weeks ago, and I didn't know he was involved in kidnapping. I thought it was just financial fraud. Pierce paying himself through shell companies. Did you tell anyone? Detective Chen asked. I was going to tell Mrs. Whitfield this week, but then yesterday happened, and suddenly I'm the suspect. Travis looked at Eleanor. I'm sorry, I should have come to you sooner. Eleanor studied him for a long moment. Why didn't you? Because Pierce implied you knew. Said you'd approved everything. I didn't want to accuse you of fraud without proof. So instead you watched my daughter's room at midnight, Marcus said. Travis flushed. I was checking for cameras. Pierce mentioned installing extra security in the guest wing. I thought he might be monitoring you. Listening. I was looking for equipment. Did you find any? No. But that doesn't mean it's not there. Pierce is smart. He'd hide it well. Detective Chen made a note. We'll sweep the house. Check for surveillance equipment. Mr. Clean, you're not under arrest, but don't leave town. I'm not going anywhere. I want to see this through. The sweep took 3 hours. They found cameras in 6 locations that weren't part of the official security system. 2 in the guest wing, 1 in Eleanor's office, 3 in Theo's playroom and bedroom. He was watching everything, Eleanor said, her voice hollow. Everything. For how long? Marcus asked. The tech examining the equipment checked timestamps. At least 4 months, maybe longer. 4 months. Eleanor sat down heavily. He's been planning this for 4 months. Probably longer, Detective Chen said. The cameras are just what we can prove. Who knows what else he did? Anna appeared in the doorway, her face pale. Mrs. Whitfield. The bank called. Pierce tried to transfer $40 million this morning. They stopped it, but only because you'd already called to freeze the accounts. If you'd waited another hour. Eleanor closed her eyes. He would have had it. He was thorough, Marcus said. I'll give him that. Thorough? Eleanor's voice cracked. He terrorized my grandson. He put cameras in his bedroom. He tried to steal from us. And you call that thorough? I call it calculated, which means he's not done. Men like Pierce don't leave loose ends. The police are here. We're safe. Are we? Marcus gestured to the officers standing by the windows. Pierce knows this house. He knows the security. He knows where the blind spots are. And if he's working with others like he said, they know everything he knows. So what do? We assume the worst. We prepare for an attack, and we don't let the kids out of our sight. The afternoon dragged into evening. Theo and Zoe stayed close, drawing pictures that got progressively darker. Zoe drew a castle under attack. Theo drew a boy hiding in a tower. They didn't talk much, just sat together, sharing the kind of silent companionship that came from shared trauma. Marcus checked the perimeter every hour. The police presence was visible, but not overwhelming. 2 officers at the front gate, 1 at the back entrance, 2 more patrolling the grounds. Not enough if someone was serious about getting in. Eleanor found him standing at a window watching the sunset over the ocean. You think they're coming tonight? She said. It wasn't a question. I think if I were Pierce, and I'd just lost $40 million, I'd be desperate. And desperate men do desperate things. The police are here. The police can be distracted. You're scaring me. Good. Scared people are careful people. Marcus turned to face her. Eleanor, I need you to be honest with me. Is there anything else Pierce might know? Anything he could use? Like what? Safe rooms, emergency exits, weak points in the security system. Anything. Eleanor thought about it. There's a panic room, off my bedroom. Reinforced door, separate phone line supplies for 3 days. Pierce designed it 2 years ago. He designed it? Yes. Why? Because if he designed it, he knows how to compromise it. What about exits? Service tunnels. They run under the estate, connect to the boathouse on the beach. Old smugglers' routes from when this was a speakeasy. Pierce know about those? I showed him during the security upgrade. He said we should seal them. I never got around to it. Marcus felt ice forming in his veins. Eleanor, those tunnels are how they'll get in. But the police are watching the front gate and the main entrances. They're not watching for someone coming up through the floor. Marcus pulled out his phone and called Detective Chen. We need officers in the basement, now. There are service tunnels that connect to the beach. How many tunnels? I don't know. At least one. I'll send someone down. Marcus hung up and looked at Eleanor. Get the kids. Move them to your bedroom. Lock the door. Don't open it for anyone except me or Detective Chen. Understood? Marcus, you're frightening me. I'm trying to keep you alive. There's a difference. Now go. Eleanor went. Marcus heard her calling for Theo and Zoe, her voice artificially bright. Come on, darlings. We're having a sleepover in Grandma's room. Won't that be fun? Marcus found Travis in the security office monitoring camera feeds. See anything? Marcus asked. Nothing. It's too quiet. I know. That's what worries me. Marcus studied the monitors. These cameras, are they on a closed circuit? Should be. But if Pierce had access, he could be watching right now. Travis swore. I didn't think of that. Kill the feeds, all of them. Go to manual patrols only. That'll leave us blind. We're already blind. At least this way Pierce is too. Travis hesitated, then nodded. He killed the power to the camera system. The monitors went black. Now we wait, Marcus said. They didn't have to wait long. At 10:47 the lights went out. Complete darkness. Not just the house lights. Everything. Backup generators, emergency lighting, even the glow from computer screens. Someone had killed the main power and disabled the backups. Marcus grabbed his phone, using it as a flashlight. Travis, where's the electrical room? Basement, east wing. That's where they'll be. Call Detective Chen. Tell her we're under attack. Marcus ran. Down hallways he'd memorized that afternoon, downstairs that creaked under his weight, into the basement, where the air smelled of salt water and old stone. He could hear voices ahead. Low. Professional. At least 3 men. He slowed down, moving quietly now, old training taking over. The voices were coming from the electrical room. The door was open, light from flashlights spilling out. Power stays off for 20 minutes. That's the window. What about the cops? Distraction team will handle them. We just get the kid and go. And the soldier. If he gets in the way, we deal with him. Marcus recognized one voice. Derek Manning. The man from the library. He'd made bail or escaped or been released. It didn't matter how. He was here. Marcus pulled back, thinking fast. 3 men. Armed, probably. He had surprise and training, but they had numbers and weapons. He needed backup. His phone buzzed. Text from Detective Chen. Officers report disturbance at front gate. Possible intruder. Where are you? Marcus typed back. Basement. 3 suspects. Armed. Send everyone. He put the phone on silent and moved closer. The men were emerging from the electrical room, now heading for the service tunnels. Marcus let them pass, then followed at a distance. The tunnels were narrow, damp, and cold. The men moved confidently, like they'd practiced this route. They knew exactly where they were going. Straight to Eleanor's bedroom. Marcus pushed past them in the darkness, using a parallel tunnel Travis had mentioned. He came up through a service door into the hallway, outside Eleanor's room, and knocked quietly. Eleanor, it's Marcus. Open up. The door cracked open. Eleanor's face appeared frightened in the glow of her phone. They're coming, Marcus said. Through the tunnels, 3 men. We need to move now. Where? Anywhere but here. Come on. Eleanor grabbed Theo and Zoe. The children were already dressed, already scared. They'd heard the edge in Marcus's voice. Follow me. Stay quiet. Stay close. They moved down the hallway, away from Eleanor's bedroom toward the main stairs. Behind them, Marcus could hear sounds, scraping, voices. The men were coming up through the floor. "Faster," Marcus urged. They reached the stairs, started down. A shout echoed from above. "There! They're running!" Footsteps pounded after them. Fast, getting closer. Marcus pushed Eleanor and the kids ahead. "Go! Get to the front gate. Find Detective Chen." "What about you?" "I'll slow them down. Go!" Eleanor hesitated for 1 second, then ran with the children. Marcus turned to face the men coming down the stairs. Derek Manning was first. He saw Marcus and smiled. "The hero. Should have stayed in your lane, soldier. Should have stayed in prison." Derek had a gun. He raised it. Marcus was already moving, closing the distance before Derek could aim properly. 2 moves. Disarm. Control. The gun clattered away. But the other 2 men were right behind. One grabbed Marcus from behind. The other threw a punch that connected with Marcus's ribs. Pain exploded, old injuries flaring. Marcus twisted, broke the hold, drove an elbow back. Bone crunched. The man behind him screamed. Marcus ducked. The next punch swept the legs and put the second man down hard. Derek was scrambling for his gun. Marcus kicked it away, then kicked Derek in the chest. Derek went down, gasping. "Stay down," Marcus said. "It's over." "No." Derek wheezed, grinning. "It's not." That's when Marcus heard it. Zoe screaming. He ran, out of the house across the lawn toward the sound. Eleanor was ahead. Theo beside her, but Zoe was gone. A van was pulling away door, sliding shut, and Marcus could see his daughter's face through the window. Terrified. Reaching for him. "Dad!" Marcus ran faster than he'd ever run in his life. But the van was accelerating, getting away, taking his daughter. He stopped chest heaving, watching the taillights disappear down the driveway. Eleanor caught up to him. Oh God, Marcus, I'm so sorry." Detective Chen arrived with officers. "We've got 3 suspects in custody inside. What happened?" "They took my daughter." Marcus's voice was hollow. Empty. "They took Zoe." "We'll find her. No." Marcus turned to look at her. "I'll find her. Tell me you got a plate number. Tell me something." "The gate camera caught it. We're running it now." Marcus's phone rang. Unknown number. He answered. "Mr. Ellis." Pierce's voice. Calm, controlled. "I believe I have something of yours. If you hurt her." "She's fine. For now. But her safety depends on your cooperation." "What do you want?" "Eleanor Whitfield signs over control of the pharmaceutical division to me. Full transfer of assets. No lawyers, no delays. She does this in the next 2 hours, and your daughter comes home safe. Eleanor will never. Then your daughter dies, along with Theodore. Because yes, Mr. Ellis, we have them both. That scream you heard. That was the distraction. My men grabbed Theo while you were busy saving Zoe. Now I have both children, and Eleanor will do exactly what I say, or she'll never see her grandson again." Marcus's world tilted. He looked at Eleanor. Her face had gone white. "Theo," she whispered. "Where's Theo?" Marcus looked around. The boy was gone, taken in the chaos. While Marcus had been focused on Zoe, someone had grabbed Theo. "You son of a—" "2 hours, Mr. Ellis. Tell Eleanor. 2 hours or the children die." The line went dead. Eleanor sank to her knees. No, not Theo. Please, not Theo." Marcus's hands were shaking. His daughter, his little girl, in the hands of a man who'd just threatened to kill her. Detective Chen was on her radio calling for backup, issuing an Amber Alert, mobilizing every resource they had. But Marcus knew it wouldn't be enough. Pierce was too smart, too prepared. He'd planned for everything. Except one thing. Marcus knelt down beside Eleanor. "Look at me. Eleanor, look at me." She raised her eyes, devastated, broken. "We're going to get them back," Marcus said. "Both of them, I promise you." How, how can you promise that? Because Pierce made a mistake. He took my daughter, and there's nowhere on earth he can hide from me now. But 2 hours is enough time, more than enough. Marcus stood up, pulled Eleanor to her feet. Where would Pierce take them? Think. He knows this area. He has connections. Where would he feel safe? I don't know. Eleanor stopped. The boathouse. The old boathouse at the end of the property. It's been abandoned for years, but it's still structurally sound. Pierce asked about renovating it 6 months ago. Said it could be a guest house. How do we get there? Service road. Runs along the cliff, but it's dangerous at night. I don't care about dangerous. I care about my daughter. Anna appeared running across the lawn. Mrs. Whitfield, I found something. She held up a sketchbook. Zoe's sketchbook. It was on the ground near the gate. She must have dropped it. Marcus took it, flipped through pages. Zoe's drawings. The castle, the tower, the boy. And then on the last page, a new drawing. A truck with a fish decal. 3 words underneath. Follow the song. Marcus stared at it. What song? The lullaby, Anna said quietly. The one Theo's mother used to sing to him. I told Zoe about it yesterday. She asked what it was called. Why would she write that? Because she heard it. Eleanor's voice was shaking. Someone's been humming that lullaby. In the house. I heard it too, but I thought I was imagining it. Who knew that song? Marcus demanded. Just family, and Derek Manning. He worked here 4 years ago. Before he left Sentinel, he would have heard Theo's mother singing it. Marcus looked at Detective Chen. Derek Manning is in custody. Yes, all 3 men from the basement. I need to talk to him, now. They brought Derek to a police car. He was handcuffed, bleeding from his nose where Marcus had hit him. He smiled when he saw Marcus. Missing something, soldier. Marcus grabbed him through the open car door. Where are they? Go to hell. Derek. Marcus's voice went quiet. Dangerous. You have 5 seconds to tell me where my daughter is before I forget every rule of engagement I ever learned. Tough talk, but you won't do anything, not with cops watching. Marcus looked at Detective Chen. Turn around. Mr. Ellis. Please, turn around. Chen hesitated, then turned her back. The other officers followed her lead. Marcus pulled Derek halfway out of the car. You want to test me? My daughter is out there, scared, probably crying, and you're going to tell me where she is, or I'm going to make you regret every choice you've ever made. Derek's smile faded. He saw something in Marcus's eyes, something that made him believe every word. The old boathouse, Derek whispered. End of the service road, but you're too late. Pierce is already there, and he's got 4 men with him. You go alone, you die. Then I die. Marcus released him, turned to Detective Chen. The boathouse, now. We need backup, SWAT team, negotiators. We don't have time. Pierce gave us 2 hours. We've already wasted 30 minutes. By the time SWAT gets here, my daughter will be dead. Mr. Ellis, I can't let you. You can't stop me. Marcus started walking toward his truck. You can either help me or get out of my way. Eleanor caught up to him. I'm coming with you. No, you're not. That's my grandson. And you'll get him killed if you come. Pierce wants you. You're the leverage. I'm just the obstacle. Then what am I supposed to do? Stay here. Sign whatever papers he wants. Stall. Give me time to get the kids out. How? I don't know yet, but I'll figure it out. Marcus climbed into his truck. Eleanor, I swear to you I will bring them home. She nodded, tears streaming down her face. Bring them all home. Marcus drove, fast, too fast, down the service road that twisted along the cliff edge. Detective Chen followed in her patrol car with 2 other officers. Not enough backup, but it was all they had. The boathouse appeared ahead. Dark. Silent. A single light visible through a cracked window. Marcus parked 50 yards away and approached on foot. Chen and her officers spread out covering the exits. Marcus reached the door. It was locked from the inside. He could hear voices. Pierce. And someone else. Crying. Zoe. His daughter was crying. Marcus didn't knock. Didn't announce himself. He kicked the door open and went in fast and low. The room opened up before him. Old. Decaying. Theo and Zoe were in the corner huddled together. Pierce stood near them with a phone in his hand. Two men flanked him. Armed. Marcus? Pierce smiled. Right on time. But I said Eleanor should come, not you. She's signing the papers. Right now. Let the kids go. You think I'm stupid? You think I believe she's actually signing anything? Call her. Check. Pierce dialed. Waited. Eleanor. Are you signing good? Put your lawyer on. He listened. I see. Well, that's very cooperative of you. I'll send the children when the transfer clears. He hung up. She's actually doing it. I'm impressed. Then let them go. Not yet. Not until the money's in my account. Marcus took a step forward. The two men raised their weapons. Don't, Pierce warned. You're a good soldier, but you're not faster than bullets. Maybe not, but I bet you are. Marcus moved, not toward Pierce, toward the men with guns. He grabbed the first one's weapon, twisted, fired once. The second man went down. The first man swung at Marcus. Marcus blocked, struck back, and the man dropped. Pierce had backed toward the children. He had a gun now, too, pointed at Theo's head. Stop! Pierce's voice was shaking. Stop right now, or I swear to God I'll kill him. Marcus froze, 30 feet away, too far to reach Pierce before he could pull the trigger. Put the gun down, Pierce said. Kick it over here. Marcus hesitated. Do it, or he dies. Marcus put the gun down. Kicked it toward Pierce. Good. Now back up. Marcus backed up 2 steps. Pierce was sweating now. This wasn't supposed to happen. She was supposed to cooperate. Nobody was supposed to get hurt. You kidnapped children. I was solving a problem. The company is dying under Eleanor's leadership. I was trying to save it. By terrorizing a 10-year-old boy. He would have been fine. I would have returned him in 3 days, safe, healthy. And Eleanor would have learned her place. Her place. She's a figurehead, a name. She doesn't understand business, doesn't understand what needs to be done. Pierce's hand was shaking. The gun wavered. I built that company. Me, not her. She just inherited it. And you thought stealing it made you better. I was taking what was mine. While Pierce ranted, Marcus watched, calculated, the distance, the angle, Pierce's grip on the gun, and he noticed something else. Zoe was watching him, really watching, and she was holding Theo's hand, holding it tight. Marcus gave her a look. One eyebrow raised, a silent question. Zoe's eyes widened. Understanding. Marcus nodded once. Zoe pulled Theo down. Hard. Both children dropped to the floor. Marcus was already moving. He covered the distance in 3 strides. Pierce turned, tried to aim, but Marcus was too fast. He grabbed Pierce's wrist, twisted, and the gun fired harmlessly into the ceiling. They went down hard. Pierce fought back, surprising strength for a businessman. But Marcus had fought insurgents in Afghanistan. Pierce didn't stand a chance. In 30 seconds, Pierce was face down with Marcus's knee in his back. It's over, Marcus said. Detective Chen burst through the door with her officers. Everyone okay? We're okay, Marcus said. He looked at his daughter. Zoe, you hurt. I'm okay, Dad. Zoe ran to him, threw her arms around his neck. I knew you'd come. I knew it. Always, baby. Always. Theo stood up slowly, shaking, but unharmed. Is it really over? Yeah, buddy, it's really over. Officers were everywhere now, securing Pierce, checking the other men, calling for medical. Marcus held his daughter and didn't let go until Eleanor came running through the door. "Theo?" Eleanor swept her grandson into her arms. "Oh God! Oh, thank God!" Theo clung to her. "Grandma, I was so scared." I know. But you're safe now. Marcus saved you." "Marcus and Zoe saved me." Theo reached out and took Zoe's hand. They both did. Eleanor looked at Marcus with tears streaming. "Thank you. How do I ever thank you?" "You don't. You just keep him safe. That's enough." They walked out of the boathouse together. Police lights were everywhere now, ambulances, news vans showing up. But Marcus barely noticed. His daughter was safe. Theo was safe. They were all safe. That was all that mattered. The hospital discharged Theo and Zoe 3 hours later. Minor bruises, dehydration, shock, but alive. The doctor spoke to Marcus and Eleanor in hushed professional tones about trauma counseling and follow-up appointments and watching for signs of PTSD. Marcus listened, nodded. But all he could think about was Zoe's hand in his warm and real and safe. "Mr. Ellis." The doctor touched his arm gently. "Are you hearing me?" "Yes. Counseling. Appointments. I'll make sure she goes. And you should consider it too. What you went through tonight, that's not something you just shake off." "I'm fine." "Dad." Zoe looked up at him with those two knowing eyes. "You're doing the thing again." "What thing?" "The thing where you pretend you're okay so I won't worry. But I can tell you're not okay. Your hands haven't stopped shaking since we left the boathouse." Marcus looked down. His daughter was right. His hands were trembling. Adrenaline crash. Combat stress. Call it whatever clinical term made it sound manageable. The truth was simpler and more terrifying. He'd almost lost her. "I'm scared," Marcus admitted quietly. "I'm really scared that this isn't over, that someone else will try something, that next time I won't be fast enough." Eleanor sat down beside him. "Marcus Pierce is in custody. Derek Manning is in custody. All of them are locked up. It's over." "Is it Pierce had connections, resources? What if there are others we don't know about?" "Then we deal with them, together." Eleanor's voice was firm. "You don't have to carry this alone anymore. Let me help. Let the police help. Let all of us help." Theo climbed into Eleanor's lap, exhausted but unwilling to be separated from her. "Marcus, are you going to leave now? Now that we're safe?" Marcus looked at his daughter. Zoe's expression was complicated. Part of her wanted to go home back to their quiet life, their small house, their predictable routines. But another part, the part that had bonded with Theo through shared terror and survival, didn't want to leave him. "Zoe, what do you think?" "I think Theo's going to have nightmares. Really bad ones. And I think he needs someone who understands." "You have nightmares?" Zoe nodded. "After Mom died, for like a year, Dad would sit with me every night until I fell asleep. Sometimes he'd still be there in the morning asleep in the chair by my bed." Theo looked at Marcus with something like hope. "You'd do that for me." "Buddy, I'd do that for anyone who needed it. But your grandmother needs you too," Eleanor interrupted. "Marcus, I'm asking you to stay, not as an employee, not as hired security, but as family. You and Zoe both. This house is too big, too empty. It's been empty since my son died, since my daughter-in-law died. But these past few days with you here, it's felt like a home again." "Eleanor, we barely know each other. Don't we? I know you're brave. I know you're kind. I know you love your daughter more than anything. I know you've lost someone you loved, and you're still learning how to breathe without them. I know all the important things." Marcus felt something crack open in his chest, some wall he'd been maintaining since Sarah died. "I don't know if I can do this." "Do what?" "Be part of something again. Trust people again. Let Zoe get attached to people who might leave." "Marcus?" Eleanor's eyes filled with tears. "We're not going anywhere. This is our home. And if you'll let us, we'd like it to be yours too. Not forever. Just until you're ready to leave. Could be a month. Could be a year. However long you need." Zoe squeezed his hand. "Dad, I really like it here. And I really like Theo. Can we stay? Please." Marcus looked at his daughter. At Theo. At Eleanor. 3 people who'd been strangers 4 days ago and now felt like the beginnings of something he didn't have words for yet. "1 month," he said finally. "We'll stay 1 month. See how it goes." Eleanor's relief was visible. 1 month. Thank you. They left the hospital just before dawn. The sky was turning pink over the ocean, that particular shade that promised a beautiful day ahead. Marcus drove them back to Whitfield Point in silence, everyone too exhausted for words. Travis Clean met them at the gate. He looked rough, like he hadn't slept either. "Mrs. Whitfield, Mr. Ellis, glad you're all safe." "Travis?" Eleanor nodded. "We need to talk about security protocols, tomorrow, after everyone's rested." "Understood. I've already started implementing new measures. Every staff member is being revetted. New cameras, new systems. Nothing Pierce designed stays." "Good." Eleanor paused. "Travis, I owe you an apology. I should have trusted you when you first raised concerns about Pierce." "You didn't know. None of us knew how deep it went. Still, thank you for trying to protect us." Travis nodded, then looked at Marcus. "And you. That was some serious work at the boathouse. Military training." "Something like that." "You ever think about doing security work professionally?" "I'm a single dad. My job is keeping my daughter safe. That's enough." "Fair enough." Travis smiled slightly. "But if you change your mind, I could use someone like you on the team." Marcus didn't answer. He was too tired to think about futures and possibilities and what came next. Anna met them inside with tea and blankets and the kind of quiet efficiency that came from genuinely caring. "I've prepared rooms for everyone. Fresh sheets, warm baths running, food whenever you're ready." "Anna, you didn't have to." "Yes, I did. You're family now. That's what we do for family." Zoe and Theo were asleep within minutes of hitting their beds. Marcus tried to sleep, but couldn't. His mind kept replaying everything. The boathouse. Pierce's gun. The moment Zoe pulled Theo down. The split second where everything could have gone wrong. A soft knock on his door pulled him from his thoughts. "Marcus, it's Eleanor. Can I come in?" "Yeah." She entered carrying 2 cups of something that smelled like chamomile and honey. "Anna's special blend. She says it helps with shock." "Does it?" "No idea, but it tastes good." Eleanor sat down in the chair by the window. "Can't sleep. Too much in my head." "Me too." She sipped her tea. "I keep thinking about Pierce, how I trusted him for 8 years. How he sat at my dinner table, played games with Theo, and the whole time he was planning this. You couldn't have known." "Couldn't I? Anna didn't like him. She told me that months ago. I dismissed it. Said she was being jealous because Pierce had more influence. I chose to believe him over her." "Eleanor, hindsight is always perfect. You can't blame yourself." "Can't I? My grandson was kidnapped because I was too blind to see what was right in front of me." Marcus set down his cup. "Eleanor, look at me. Theo is safe because you called me the moment you knew something was wrong. Because you trusted your instincts when it mattered. Because you fought for him. That's what matters. You saved him, not me. We saved him, all of us, together." They sat in silence for a while, drinking tea, watching the sunrise over the ocean. "Marcus, can I ask you something personal?" "You can ask." "When your wife died, how did you keep going? How did you wake up every day and not just fall apart?" Marcus thought about it, really thought about it. "I didn't. Not at first. The first few months I was just going through motions. Zoe would ask me questions and I'd answer, but I wasn't really there. I was lost. But then one day Zoe came home from school crying. Some kid had said something mean about her mom being gone. And I looked at my daughter and realized she needed me. Really needed me. Not the ghost version of me, the real version. So I made a choice. I could stay lost in grief, or I could be present for her. I chose her. Just like that. No, not just like that. It took time, therapy, a lot of failed attempts at normalcy, but eventually I found my way back, or forward, or whatever direction you want to call it. Eleanor wiped her eyes. I'm afraid of forgetting them. My son, my daughter-in-law, their faces, their voices. Theo remembers less every year, and it breaks my heart. Tell him stories, every night. Keep them alive in stories. That's what I do with Zoe. I tell her about her mom. Funny things, sad things, real things. So Sarah stays real for her. Thank you, Eleanor whispered. For everything. You already thanked me. I know, but I don't think I'll ever stop thanking you. The next few days passed in a strange kind of peace. Police came and went with questions and paperwork. Lawyers handled the legal aspects of Pierce's attempted theft. The media picked up the story, but Eleanor's PR team kept most of the details private, protecting the children's identities. Theo had nightmares. Bad ones. He'd wake up screaming about men in the dark, about hands grabbing him, about voices threatening his grandmother. Eleanor tried to comfort him, but sometimes the only person who could calm him down was Marcus. Hey buddy, it's okay. You're safe. They're coming back. I know they're coming back. No, they're not. Pierce is in jail. Derek Manning is in jail. All of them. They can't hurt you anymore. But what if there are others? What if... Theo, look at me. Look at me. Do you trust me? Yes? Then believe me when I tell you this. I won't let anyone hurt you. Not while I'm here. Not ever. Understand? Theo would nod, eventually calm down, eventually fall back asleep. And Marcus would sit in the chair by his bed until morning, just like he'd done with Zoe after Sarah died. Zoe noticed. She always noticed. Dad, you're not sleeping again. I'm fine. You're going to make yourself sick. I'll sleep when I'm sure everyone's safe. Dad, we are safe. You made us safe. Now you have to take care of yourself too. Out of the mouths of children. Marcus started forcing himself to sleep. A few hours a night, not much, but better than nothing. 2 weeks after the boathouse incident, Theo and Zoe were drawing in the playroom. Marcus walked by and heard them talking. What are you making? Theo asked. A badge. See, it's a heart with a star in the middle. What's it for? For brave people. People who protect others, like my dad, like your grandma, like Travis and Anna and Detective Chen. Can I make one too? Yeah, we can make a bunch. Give them to all the brave people we know. Marcus smiled and kept walking. Kids had a way of finding hope in the darkest places. That night at dinner, Zoe presented Eleanor with a badge she'd made from construction paper. A blue heart with a gold star in the center. What's this? Eleanor asked. A brave heart badge, for being brave and keeping Theo safe. Eleanor's eyes filled with tears. Thank you, sweetheart. This is beautiful. Theo and I are making more. We're going to give them to everyone who helped us. We're calling it the Brave Hearts Club. Theo nodded enthusiastically. And we're making rules. Rule number 1, brave hearts protect people who need help. Rule number 2, brave hearts are kind even when they're scared. Rule number 3, brave hearts never give up. Marcus felt something warm spread through his chest. His daughter and this boy had been through hell, and instead of staying scared, they were choosing courage, choosing kindness. That's a good club, Marcus said. I'm proud of you both. Dad, can we give out badges at school and at the library and to the police officers who helped us? I think that's a great idea. Eleanor looked at Marcus. You've raised an extraordinary daughter. She raised herself. I just tried not to mess her up too much. Over the next week, the Brave Hearts Club became real. Theo and Zoe made dozens of badges. They gave them to Mrs. Chen at the library, to Detective Sarah Chen at the police station, to the paramedics who'd checked them at the hospital, to Anna and Travis, and every officer who'd helped that night. People started wearing them, posting pictures on social media. The local news picked up the story, "Children create Brave Hearts Club after surviving kidnapping attempt." And then something unexpected happened. Other kids started asking for badges. Parents started reaching out. Teachers wanted to know if the Brave Hearts could visit schools and talk about courage and safety. Eleanor came to Marcus with a proposal. What if we made this bigger? What if we organized community workshops, teaching parents and kids about safety, about recognizing danger, about what to do in emergencies? I'm not a teacher, Eleanor. No, but you know things most people don't. You noticed the wrong shoes. You acted when it mattered. You could teach that. Marcus hesitated. I don't know. Dad? Zoe appeared in the doorway. You should do it. You're really good at keeping people safe. Other kids should know what I know. What do you know? That being brave doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you help people even when you are scared. You taught me that. Marcus looked at his daughter. When had she gotten so wise? Okay, we'll try it. One workshop. See how it goes. Eleanor smiled. I'll set it up. Anna can help coordinate. Travis can provide security expertise. And you can share your experience. The first workshop was held at the Riverside Community Center 3 weeks later. Marcus expected maybe 20 people. Over 100 showed up. Parents, teachers, kids, community leaders. Everyone wanted to learn. Marcus stood at the front of the room and felt his palms sweat. Public speaking had never been his thing. But then he saw Zoe and Theo in the front row, both wearing their Brave Hearts badges, both looking at him with complete confidence. He cleared his throat. Hi, I'm Marcus Ellis, and I'm here because 3 weeks ago my daughter noticed something wrong. A man's shoes didn't match his uniform. That one observation stopped a kidnapping. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to teach you what my daughter already knows. Paying attention saves lives. He talked for an hour. About awareness. About trusting instincts. About teaching children the difference between stranger danger and actual dangerous behavior. About creating code words for emergencies. About what to do if someone tries to take your child. People asked questions. Lots of questions. Travis added information about home security. Anna talked about vetting caregivers and teachers. Eleanor spoke about the importance of community networks and looking out for each other's children. At the end, Zoe and Theo presented Brave Hearts badges to everyone who attended. Over 100 paper hearts with gold stars, each one made by hand. A woman approached Marcus afterward, crying. My daughter was almost taken from a playground last year. Nobody saw anything. Nobody helped. If people had paid attention like you're teaching, maybe someone would have noticed. Maybe someone would have stopped it. I'm sorry that happened. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for teaching people to see, to care, to act. More workshops followed. 1 a week at first, then 2. Word spread. Other communities asked them to come speak. Schools invited them. Churches. Community organizations. The Brave Hearts Club grew from 2 kids with paper badges to a legitimate safety awareness program. Eleanor established a foundation to support it. Travis recruited other security professionals to help teach. Anna coordinated schedules and logistics. And Marcus found himself with a new purpose. Something beyond just surviving. Something that honored Sarah's memory by protecting other families from the grief he'd experienced. One evening, 2 months after everything happened, Marcus found Eleanor in the library, looking at photos of her son and daughter-in-law. You okay? Marcus asked. I'm remembering. The good parts. The parts I was afraid to think about because they hurt too much. That's progress. Is it? Sometimes it feels like I'm betraying them by moving forward. Eleanor, moving forward isn't betrayal. It's survival. and they'd want you to survive, just like Sarah would want me to. Do you think about her less now, your wife? No, I think about her the same amount. But now I can think about her without it destroying me. That's the difference. Eleanor nodded. Theo's nightmares are getting better. He slept through the night yesterday, first time since the boathouse. That's good. Really good. Because of you. Because you sit with him. Because you make him feel safe. I'm just doing what anyone would do. Marcus? Eleanor turned to face him. Stop saying that. Stop minimizing what you've done for us. You saved my grandson's life, twice. You stayed when you could have left. You turned your trauma into something that helps others. You're extraordinary. Accept it. Marcus felt his face flush. I don't know how to accept it. Then learn. Because Zoe needs to see that her father is a hero, and Theo needs to see that good men exist in the world, and I need... She trailed off. Need what? A friend. I need a friend. Someone who understands grief and fear, and what it means to rebuild after everything falls apart. I need you, Marcus. Not as hired help, not as security. As family. Marcus felt tears prick his eyes. I need that too. I didn't realize how much until right now. Eleanor hugged him. It was awkward at first, then natural, then necessary. Two broken people holding each other together. Thank you for staying, Eleanor whispered. Thank you for asking us to. The month Marcus had promised became 2 months, then 3. At some point he stopped counting, stopped thinking about leaving. Whitfield Point had become home in ways his old house never could be again. Zoe thrived. She laughed more, played more. Her nightmares about Sarah faded, replaced by dreams about better things. She and Theo were inseparable siblings in everything but blood. The Brave Hearts workshops continued growing. Marcus realized he was good at teaching, good at making people feel empowered instead of afraid, good at turning fear into action. Anna became like a sister to Marcus, always there with coffee and encouragement, and the occasional kick in the pants when he started retreating into himself. Travis became a friend, someone Marcus could talk to about combat stress and survivor's guilt and the strange experience of building a new life from the ruins of an old one. And Eleanor became family, real family, the kind that showed up when things were hard, the kind that celebrated small victories and mourned old losses and believed in better tomorrows. 4 months after the library incident, Detective Sarah Chen called with news. Pierce had been sentenced. 40 years for attempted kidnapping, conspiracy, fraud, and a dozen other charges. Derek Manning got 30. The others got various sentences. None of them would be getting out anytime soon. It's really over, Eleanor said when Marcus told her. They're gone. We're safe. We're safe, Marcus agreed. Finally. That night they had a celebration dinner. Nothing fancy. Just the 5 of them, Marcus. Zoe, Eleanor, Theo, and Anna sitting around the kitchen table eating takeout pizza and laughing about small things that didn't matter and mattered completely. Theo raised his water glass. I want to make a toast. To Marcus and Zoe, for saving my life, for staying, for being my family. To Marcus and Zoe, everyone echoed. Zoe raised her own glass. And to Grandma Eleanor for giving us a home. And to Anna for taking care of all of us. And to Travis, even though he's not here for protecting us. And to all the brave hearts everywhere who help people when they're scared. To brave hearts, they said together. Marcus looked around the table at faces he'd grown to love, at the life he'd accidentally stumbled into, at the family he'd found when he wasn't looking for one. Sarah would have liked this, he thought. She would have liked Eleanor's strength and Anna's kindness and Theo's resilience. She would have loved seeing Zoe so happy, so confident, so utterly herself. And maybe, just maybe, Sarah would be proud of him. For surviving. For healing. For learning to love again in all the ways that mattered. Dad? Zoe tugged his sleeve. You're doing the thing where you think too much. Sorry, just grateful. For what? For you. For all of this. For second chances. Zoe smiled and leaned against him. Me too, Dad. Me too. Outside, the ocean rolled against the cliffs. Inside, a family ate pizza and planned tomorrow's workshop and argued good-naturedly about whose turn it was to pick the movie. Marcus Ellis had come to a library to spend a quiet afternoon with his daughter. He'd left with a purpose, a family, and a future he never could have imagined. Sometimes he thought the best things in life happened when you stopped looking for them and started paying attention to what was right in front of you. Like wrong shoes on a janitor. Like a frightened boy who needed help. Like a grandmother who needed family. Like a daughter who needed to know that brave hearts could heal, could grow, could love again. Marcus had learned all of that. And now he was teaching it to anyone who would listen. One workshop at a time. One family at a time. One brave heart at a time. 6 months after the library autumn arrived with gold leaves and crisp mornings. The town's annual Harvest Festival was 3 weeks away, and Zoe had an idea. We should do something at the festival, for the Brave Hearts Club. Like what? Theo asked. They were in the playroom, surrounded by art supplies and half-finished projects. Like a parade. We could give badges to real heroes, teachers and librarians and firefighters and people like that. People who protect kids every day, but nobody says thank you. Theo's face lit up. Yes, and we could make a float, with a giant heart on it. Dad? Zoe ran to find Marcus, who was in the kitchen helping Anna prepare dinner. Dad, we need to be in the Harvest Festival parade. Marcus looked at Anna, who was already smiling. The kids want to do a Brave Hearts float. I think that's wonderful, Anna said. Eleanor will love it. Will she? Because organizing a parade float sounds expensive and complicated. And exactly the kind of thing this family needs, Eleanor said, entering the kitchen. I heard everything from the hallway. The answer is yes. Absolutely yes. Anna, start making calls. Marcus, you're in charge of logistics. Kids, you design it. We're doing this. The next 3 weeks were chaos in the best possible way. Zoe and Theo sketched designs for the float. Eleanor hired a local builder to construct it. Anna coordinated with the festival committee. Travis ensured security measures, and Marcus tried to keep everyone from going completely overboard. It's a parade float, not a military operation, Marcus said, watching Eleanor review detailed floor plans. Everything I do is a military operation. That's how things get done right. Eleanor, the kids just want to hand out paper badges. And they will. On a beautiful, professionally constructed float that represents everything the Brave Hearts Club stands for. Marcus laughed. He'd learned not to argue when Eleanor got that look in her eyes. The workshop schedule intensified too. They were now reaching hundreds of people each month. Parents brought their children to learn about safety. Teachers brought entire classes. Police departments started recommending the workshops to communities dealing with attempted abductions or safety concerns. Marcus stood in front of a crowd of 200 at the community center, more comfortable now with public speaking than he'd been 6 months ago. Most people think awareness means being paranoid, looking over your shoulder constantly, assuming everyone's a threat. But that's not what we teach here. We teach smart awareness, noticing inconsistencies, trusting your instincts, knowing when something's wrong without living in fear. My daughter noticed wrong shoes on a janitor. That's not paranoia. That's paying attention. A woman raised her hand. But how do you teach children to be aware without scaring them? You make it a game. You practice. My daughter and I play, "What's wrong with this picture?" everywhere we go. At the grocery store, I'll say, "Count how many exits you can see." At the park, "Tell me who's here with kids and who's alone." It becomes second nature. They're learning awareness while thinking they're just playing. Theo raised his hand from the front row. "Can I say something?" "Sure, buddy." Theo stood up, surprisingly confident for a 10-year-old addressing 200 people. When the bad men took me, I was scared, really scared. But I remembered something Marcus taught me. He said brave people don't stop being scared. They just don't let fear stop them from doing what's right. So even though I was scared, I looked for clues. I listened to what they said. I tried to remember everything so I could tell the police later. And that helped. Being scared didn't stop me from being smart. The room erupted in applause. Marcus felt his throat tighten. The kid had been through hell, and here he was teaching others how to survive it. After the workshop, a firefighter approached Marcus. "My station wants to partner with Brave Hearts. We'd like to bring your program to schools in our district." That's a big commitment. It's a necessary commitment. What you're doing here, it's changing how people think about safety. We want to be part of that. More partnerships formed. Police departments, fire stations, schools, youth organizations. The Brave Hearts Club was becoming something bigger than Marcus had ever imagined. One evening, he found Eleanor in her office, surrounded by paperwork. "What's all this?" Marcus asked. "Grant applications, funding proposals. If we're going to expand Brave Hearts beyond this community, we need sustainable funding." "Eleanor, you don't have to." "Yes, I do. This is important work. It's saving lives. And it's giving Theo purpose, giving all of us purpose. I want to support it properly." Marcus sat down across from her. "I never thought it would become this big." "Did you think you'd still be here 6 months later?" "Honestly, no. I thought we'd stay a month, maybe 2, then go back to our old life. And now? Now I don't want to go back. Zoe's happy here. I'm happy here. This feels like home in a way our old house never did after Sarah died." Eleanor set down her pen. "Marcus, I need to tell you something. When Theo was taken, I was terrified. Not just of losing him, but of failing him the way I felt I'd failed my son. I couldn't save my son from that car accident. But you saved Theo. You gave me a second chance at family, at love, at life." "Eleanor, let me finish. You and Zoe, you've given us more than safety. You've given us joy, laughter, purpose. This house was a mausoleum before you came. Now it's alive. And I want you to know that you're not guests anymore. You're family, forever family, if you'll have us." Marcus felt tears on his face. "We'll have you. Zoe and I will have you." They hugged, and Marcus realized something profound. He'd thought coming to Whitfield Point was about protecting Theo. But really, it was about all of them protecting each other, building something new from shared brokenness. The Harvest Festival arrived on a perfect October Saturday. The whole town turned out. Food vendors lined the streets. Music played from multiple stages. Children ran everywhere with painted faces and bags of candy. The Brave Hearts float was positioned near the front of the parade. It was more elaborate than Marcus had expected. A 15-foot-tall heart made of red and blue flowers with a gold star in the center. Zoe and Theo stood on top wearing matching Brave Hearts t-shirts Anna had designed. They had boxes full of badges ready to distribute. "You two ready?" Marcus asked from ground level. "So ready." Zoe bounced on her toes. "Dad, there's like 1,000 people here." "More like 5,000. Travis said, scanning the crowd with professional assessment. "This is the biggest turnout the festival's had in 20 years. Because of the Brave Hearts," Anna said proudly. "Everyone wants to see the kids." Eleanor joined them, elegant in casual clothes Marcus had never seen her wear before. "The mayor's here. The governor sent a representative. Channel 7 is filming. This is bigger than I expected." "It's what the kids wanted," Marcus said. "To say thank you to heroes." The parade started. The Brave Hearts float rolled forward slowly. People lining the streets cheered. Zoe and Theo waved, throwing badges to the crowd, but they also stopped the float repeatedly, climbing down to present badges personally to specific people. A teacher from Theo's school. "Thank you for keeping us safe every day." Mrs. Chen from the library. "Thank you for calling the police and being brave." Detective Sarah Chen. "Thank you for finding us and catching the bad guys." A firefighter who'd been at a school safety workshop. Thank you for teaching kids how to be safe." Every recipient looked stunned, honored, and emotional. Some cried. Everyone wore their badges with pride. Marcus walked alongside the float, watching his daughter shine with purpose and confidence. This was what healing looked like. Not forgetting the trauma. Not pretending it didn't happen, but transforming it into something meaningful. Something that helped others. Eleanor walked beside him. "Sarah would be proud of her. Of you both." "How did you know I was thinking about Sarah?" "Because you get this look, sad and happy at the same time, like you're sharing a moment with someone who's not here anymore." "I do that. All the time. It's beautiful, actually, the way you keep her present, the way you let Zoe see that it's okay to miss someone and be happy anyway." "I'm still learning how to do that." "We all are. I think about my son every day. Wonder what he'd think of how I'm raising Theo. Wonder if I'm doing it right." "You're doing it perfectly." "Am I? Because I missed Pierce's betrayal for 8 years. I put Theo in danger by being blind." "Eleanor, stop. You protected Theo when it mattered. You trusted the right people. You built a home where he feels safe and loved. That's what good parenting looks like." She squeezed his arm. "Thank you." The parade ended at the town square where a stage had been set up. The mayor approached Zoe and Theo with a microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce 2 very special young people, Zoe Ellis and Theodore Whitfield, founders of the Brave Hearts Club." The crowd erupted in applause. Zoe looked nervous for the first time all day. Theo took her hand. "We got this," Theo whispered. Zoe nodded. They stepped up to the microphone together. "Hi," Zoe said, her voice small but clear. "6 months ago, something really scary happened to me and Theo. Bad people tried to hurt us, but good people stopped them. And we learned something important. There are way more good people than bad people. And good people do brave things every single day." Theo took over. "So we started the Brave Hearts Club because we wanted to say thank you to everyone who protects us. Teachers who watch out for us at school, librarians who keep us safe, police officers and firefighters, parents who teach us to be careful, and soldiers like Marcus who know how to be brave even when they're scared." Zoe continued. "Being a brave heart means you help people, even when it's hard, even when you're scared, even when nobody's watching. It means you pay attention, you trust your feelings, you speak up when something's wrong, and you never give up on keeping people safe." Theo pulled out a special badge from his pocket, larger than the others, blue and gold and beautiful. "We made a special badge for the person who started all of this, the person who noticed wrong shoes and saved my life. Marcus Ellis. Will you come up here?" Marcus's heart stopped. He looked at Eleanor, who was smiling through tears. "Go," she whispered. "They need you." Marcus climbed onto the stage. Theo and Zoe stood on either side of him. "Marcus," Theo said, pinning the badge to Marcus's shirt. "This is for keeping hearts safe, for teaching us to be brave, for showing us that heroes are real." Zoe added her piece. "For being the best dad, for saving Theo, for staying with us, for making us a family." The crowd was on their feet, applauding, cheering. Marcus looked out at 5,000 people celebrating courage and community and the simple act of paying attention. He saw Travis and Anna crying, Eleanor with her hand over her heart, Mrs. Chen from the library waving, Detective Chen saluting, the firefighter who'd partnered with them, the teachers, the parents, the children, all of them wearing paper badges with hearts and stars. All of them part of something bigger than themselves. Marcus knelt down and pulled Zoe and Theo into a hug. "I'm proud of you both. So incredibly proud." "We're proud of you too, Dad," Zoe whispered. "Marcus." Theo looked up at him with serious eyes. "Can I call you Uncle Marcus, if that's okay?" Marcus felt something break open in his chest. "Buddy, you can call me whatever feels right." "Uncle Marcus feels right," Because you're family now. Real family. Yeah, Marcus said, his voice rough with emotion. Real family. The festival continued into the evening. Food and music and laughter. Zoe and Theo ran around with other kids, all of them wearing Brave Hearts badges, all of them playing games that involved protecting each other and being brave. As sunset painted the sky, orange and pink fireworks began. Marcus found himself standing with Eleanor, Anna, and Travis watching the children play in the gathering darkness. "Look at them," Anna said softly. 6 months ago, they were traumatized and terrified. Now they're leading a movement. "Children are resilient," Travis said, "more than adults give them credit for." "It's not just resilience," Eleanor said. "It's love." Marcus gave them love and safety and space to heal. That's what made the difference. Marcus shook his head. "We all did. Together. That's the point. Nobody heals alone. Nobody survives alone. We need each other." "When did you get so wise?" Eleanor teased. "I'm not wise. I'm just a dad who got lucky, who found people who needed the same things I needed. Community, purpose, family." A voice called from across the square. "Uncle Marcus, come watch the fireworks with us." Theo was waving frantically. Zoe was saving a spot on the grass beside her. "Go," Eleanor said. "Your kids are calling." Marcus jogged over, settled between Zoe and Theo. Eleanor joined them a moment later with Anna and Travis. They sat together as the fireworks bloomed overhead, painting the night sky with gold and silver and blue. "Dad." Zoe leaned against his shoulder. "Are we going to stay here forever?" "Would you want to?" "Yeah, I really would. Is that okay? Is it okay to want this to be home?" Marcus kissed the top of her head. "It's more than okay. It's perfect." "What about Mom? Would she be okay with it?" Marcus thought about Sarah, about the woman who'd taught him how to love and how to fight and how to survive. "Your mom would want us to be happy, to build a life that feels good, to find family wherever we can. She'd love Eleanor and Theo. She'd love what we're doing with Brave Hearts, and she'd be so proud of you." "I miss her," Zoe whispered. "Me too. Every day. But Zoe, she's still with us, in the brave way you face things, in the kind way you treat people, in every good choice you make. She's there." Zoe nodded against his shoulder. They watched the fireworks in comfortable silence. Theo had fallen asleep against Eleanor's side. She stroked his hair gently, her face peaceful in the glow of the explosions above. "Eleanor," Marcus said quietly. "Thank you for asking us to stay that first night, for trusting me, for giving us this. Thank you for saying yes, for staying, for showing me that family isn't just blood. It's choice. It's showing up. It's love in action." "That's what Brave Hearts is really about, isn't it?" Anna said. "Choosing love over fear. Choosing to show up. Choosing to protect each other." "Yeah," Marcus agreed. "That's exactly what it's about." The final firework exploded overhead, gold sparks that spread across the entire sky before fading slowly to darkness. The crowd cheered. Children laughed. Someone started playing guitar nearby, a soft melody that drifted through the night. Marcus looked at the people around him. Zoe half asleep now but smiling. Theo completely asleep and safe. Eleanor at peace in a way she hadn't been 6 months ago. Anna and Travis friends who'd become family through crisis and trust. This was his life now. Not the life he'd planned. Not the life he'd imagined after Sarah died. But a good life. A full life. A life built on courage and community, and the simple act of noticing when something was wrong and choosing to help. "Dad," Zoe murmured sleepily, "you know what the best part of the Brave Hearts Club is? What's that, sweetheart? That we made it together. All of us. From something bad, we made something good." "That's exactly right. And we're going to keep making good things. Right. Right. Together. Always together." Zoe smiled and closed her eyes fully. Marcus held her close, feeling her breathe, feeling her heartbeat, feeling the absolute certainty that they were exactly where they were supposed to be. The music played on. People gathered in small groups, talking and laughing. The festival wound down slowly, reluctant to end such a perfect day. Marcus stood carefully, lifting Zoe into his arms, even though she was getting too big for it. Eleanor did the same with Theo. They walked through the town square together, past vendors packing up, past families heading to their cars, past people still wearing Bravehearts badges and talking about workshops and safety and community. "You did good today," Travis said, walking beside them. "Both of you." "The kids did good," Marcus corrected. "We just supported them." That's what good parents do. Support. Guide. Let the kids lead when they're ready. "When did you become an expert on parenting?" "Since I started watching you. You're better at it than you think." They reached the cars. Travis and Anna said goodnight and headed to their vehicles. Marcus settled Zoe in the back seat of his truck. Eleanor put Theo in her car. "See you at home?" Eleanor asked. Home. Marcus loved the way that word sounded now. "Yeah, see you at home." The drive back to Whitfield Point was quiet. Zoe woke up halfway there. "Did I fall asleep?" "You did." "Was I snoring?" "A little bit." She giggled. "Dad." "Yeah." "Today was the best day. Maybe the best day since Mom died." Marcus felt his chest tighten. "Yeah, baby, it really was. I think Mom would have liked today. She always said the world needed more kindness. That's kind of what Bravehearts is. Kindness with courage. Your mom was a smart woman." "I know, I remember." Zoe paused. "Dad, is it okay if I'm happy here, even though Mom's not here?" "Zoe, listen to me. Your mom would want nothing more than for you to be happy, to build a good life, to find family and joy and purpose. Being happy doesn't mean you love her less. It means you're living the kind of life she wanted for you." "Okay, good. Because I am happy. Really, really happy." "Me too, Zoe. Me too." They pulled through the gates of Whitfield Point. The house was lit up, welcoming them home. Eleanor's car was already parked. Anna had left the porch lights on. Marcus carried Zoe inside, tucked her into bed, kissed her forehead. "Love you, Dad." "Love you too, more than anything." He found Eleanor in the kitchen making tea, something she did every night now. It had become their ritual, tea and conversation before bed. "Theo went right back to sleep," Eleanor said. "He was exhausted." So was Zoe, but happy exhausted. The best kind. Eleanor handed him a cup. "Marcus, I've been thinking about the Bravehearts expansion, about what comes next. And I want to do this right. Hire professional staff, create a real curriculum, partner with more organizations, take this national, maybe international, make it something that outlasts all of us." That's ambitious. That's necessary. What started as two kids giving out paper badges has become something important. We owe it to them, to everyone who's been helped by this program, to make it sustainable. Marcus sipped his tea. "You're right, and I want to help, however I can." "Good. Because I was hoping you'd consider becoming the director of programs, making this your full-time work." Marcus stared at her. "Eleanor, I don't have credentials for something like that." "You have something better. Experience, authenticity, the trust of every person who's attended a workshop. You're the heart of this program, Marcus. It should be your job." "I need to think about it." "Take all the time you need. But know this, you've already proven you can do it. You've been doing it for 6 months. I'm just offering to make it official and pay you properly." Later, lying in bed, Marcus thought about Eleanor's offer, about the life he was building here, about Zoe's happiness and Theo's healing and the community they'd created, about Sarah and what she'd want for him. And he knew with absolute certainty that this was his path forward. Not just surviving, Not just existing, but truly living, making a difference. Honoring Sarah's memory by protecting others the way he wished someone could have protected her from cancer. He pulled out his phone and texted Eleanor. "Yes, I'll do it. Director of Brave Hearts programs. Let's make this bigger than all of us." Her response came immediately. "Thank you for everything. Sleep well, Marcus. Tomorrow we start building something extraordinary." Marcus set down his phone and closed his eyes. For the first time since Sarah died, he fell asleep easily. No nightmares. No waking up in panic. Just peace. Deep, settled peace. The kind that came from knowing you were exactly where you were meant to be. With the people you were meant to be with. Doing the work you were meant to do. He thought about wrong shoes on a janitor. About a daughter who noticed. About a boy who needed saving. About a grandmother who asked him to stay. About how one moment of paying attention had changed everything. And he smiled in the darkness. Because sometimes the most ordinary days led to the most extraordinary lives. All you had to do was notice. All you had to do was care. All you had to do was act. Everything else followed from there. Marcus Ellis, widowed veteran and single father, had learned that lesson in a library 6 months ago, and he'd been teaching it ever since, to hundreds of families, thousands of children, countless communities, one brave heart at a time.